हाय बच्चों, सो एज यू नो दैट आई हैड प्रॉमिस टू यू दैट जितनी भी मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स की या बेसिक टॉपिक्स की क्लासेस हैं फॉर द सिलेबस ऑफ क्लैट 27 वो मैं इस चैनल पे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट कवर करवाने वाली हूँ। उसी सीरीज में बच्चों ये पहली क्लास है फॉर क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग। इस क्लास में जैसिका मैम ने डिस्कस किया है द बेसिक्स ऑफ क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग। बेसिकली व्हाट इज एन असम्पशन, स्टेटमेंट, कंक्लूजन, इन्फरेंस, इनमें डिफरेंस क्या होता है, आप कैसे इनको ब्रेक डाउन कर सकते हो और कैसे आप बेसिक्स ऑफ क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग से स्टार्ट करके अपने क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग के स्कोर को आगे तक ले जा सकते हो। सो ये क्लास बच्चों बहुत ही बेसिक और इंट्रोडक्टरी क्लास है, बट इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्लास। व्हाई? बिकॉज इसी क्लास से आपके आगे का बेस सेट होने वाला है फॉर क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग। एंड यू ऑल शुड नो बच्चों, अगर आप क्लैट 27 की सीरियसली तैयारी कर रहे हो तो सीआर को आप बिल्कुल भी अवॉइड करके नहीं जा सकते। यस आई नो कि आपको एआर यानी कि एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग को भी ढंग से पढ़ना होगा, बट क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग को आप बिल्कुल भी इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते। सो विद दैट बच्चों, इस चैनल को अभी सब्सक्राइब कर लेना। आने वाले दिनों में इसी की आगे की क्लासेस यानी कि जो और इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद की क्लासेस ऑफ सीआर, एआर, मैथ्स और लीगल सब कुछ आने वाली है बच्चों। सब कुछ आ भी रही है ऑलरेडी अगर आप चैनल को चेकआउट करोगे तो। सो इस चैनल को अभी सब्सक्राइब कर लो ताकि तुम इधर उधर फालतू का टाइम वेस्ट मत करो और ये वीडियो तुमसे बाद में खो ना जाए। एंड यू आर ऑलवेज कनेक्टेड टू वी लर्न लीगल। ओके, सो विद दिस बच्चों, लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द क्लास। अगर तुम्हारा कोई भी क्वेश्चन या डाउट होगा तो कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल सकते हो। आई विल बी देयर टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड।
Critical reasoning is the only section where you will actually have fun. Trust me, it is the only section where you will enjoy. All of you are signing up to become lawyers. है ना? Lawyers, design arguments, play with logic. Critical reasoning is going to teach you how to do that exactly. Okay? It is basically how to, yeah. So, एक lawyer के लिए the biggest device, the tool are the arguments. The arguments are shaped by logic, by critical reasoning. Now, logic is a faculty जो हम सब में है. हम सब बचपन से logic use करते आए हैं. At this stage, our only job is to bring that logic to the surface. That is by practicing a bunch of questions. Okay, so today we start with the basics and then we'll start with some easy questions. Okay, so intro to critical reasoning will focus on assumptions, inferences, and conclusions. Okay. Now, people who signed up for CLAT or ALIT or MHCET for SLAT, ये सब में आएगा. This is a universal topic. ये सब में आएगा. चाहे आप कोई भी private exam दे रहे हैं. Okay. Now, this is a universal topic for critical reasoning. ये सब में आएगा. Whatever exam you're giving, this is very important. This is also a base for other questions for critical reasoning. So, ये वाली क्लास बहुत ध्यान से अटेंड करना because it serves as a foundation for CR. I mean, this is where you can anticipate कि अच्छा आगे क्या मिलने वाला है मुझे. Assumption, inference, conclusion. Now, आपको CLAT में कैसे आता है ये? CLAT में आपको पूरा 500 वर्ड का RC होगा. And then you will have questions based on that. So your basically your argument is that 500 words of RC, and then questions are designed on that. Unlike ALIT, where you don't have complete RC, you just have independent questions, few lines, okay, few lines of the question, and उसपे बनता है. It's not based off of an RC. You don't have to read a lot for that. Whereas in CLAT, you will have to read the entire RC and then solve the question. ठीक है. सीईटी में भी आरसी नहीं होते, एलिट में भी आरसी नहीं है, स्लैट में भी आरसी नहीं है, सिर्फ क्लैट में आरसी पे ये सवाल आते हैं क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग के. अप्रोच सेम है, बस हाँ क्लैट में थोड़ा रीडिंग मटेरियल ज्यादा है, थोड़ा एविडेंसेस ज्यादा है, थोड़ा प्रेमिस आपको ज्यादा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, अनलाइक द अदर एग्जाम्स. Yeah, one of you raised your hands, Bhavishya. Yeah, I mean, one thing that I have learned about CLAT from all these years of teaching is there is no fixed pattern of CLAT. CLAT is moody. The consortium is completely bipolar. Like if they want to change a section, if they want to add a section, last time what she means is there was no critical reasoning, but there was analytical reasoning. Analytical reasoning is something that was not anticipated for CLAT, but हाँ ALIT में आता है. तो जिनने ALIT के लिए तैयारी किया था, they were prepared. But people who didn't prepare for ALIT, for them it was completely new. So one thing that you need to sign up, or you need to understand that what you have signed up for is CLAT can change anytime, any moment, because there is no fixed syllabus. तो आप अपनी तरफ से सब prepare करके जाएंगे. जो इस साल लास्ट ईयर तो पूरा एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग का सेक्शन आया था, उससे पिछले वाले साल में सिर्फ एक आरसी तो जो था सीआर में, दैट वाज एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग. सो इन द सेंस मतलब कंसोर्टियम वालों ने एक हिंट दे दी थी कि मैंने इस बार दिया है, हो सकता है अगली बार भी दूं. तो people who had studied past year papers very well sort of anticipated it and they were kind of prepared. Last year, unlike one question, they had given all the questions for analytical reasoning. There was no CR passages or CR questions at all. So now, कुछ भी नहीं कह सकते कि इस साल क्या होगा. We don't know if they're going to stick to the same for this year or they're going to maybe bring back CR this year. We can't really say. So our job as students is to prepare everything. The complete CR of CLAT and ALET. There's no difference between the CR of CLAT and ALET. Approach and question is the same. आपको ALET में भी यही सवाल आएंगे, assumption, inference, conclusion. Same. CET में भी same सवाल आएंगे. बस CLAT में आपको passage के बेस पे आएगा और बाकियों में passage नहीं होगा. That's the only difference. Otherwise, yeah, the level of difficulty goes a little bit high for ALET, but at this stage, you don't have to worry about it. If your focus is on CLAT, focus on that. Start preparing questions. You'll naturally increase your level of difficulty. Hard, easy, something that one can never anticipate. So let us not, die in anxiety even before the paper has started. Please stop worrying about the level of difficulty. Just do your best, prepare your best. Okay, let us start. Let us see, what type of topic it is so you can anticipate if it's difficult or easy. Let us start. Okay, now for a lawyer, you're literally going on a war. Okay, I don't know what type of lawyer you choose to become, a civil lawyer or a corporate lawyer. Regardless, you're going on a war. Okay, when you're fighting a case, you don't have weapons. Your weapon is an argument. Okay, a lawyer has to talk cut to cut, proper logic, no bakwas in the center. That is done through proper arguing, through proper argumentation. Okay, so you need to understand कि भाई argument है क्या. Argument में 3 चीजें basically होती है. ठीक है, there's a premise, there's an assumption, and then there's a conclusion. आपके जो सवाल भी हैं वो भी इन पे ही बन के आएंगे. ठीक है, बेसिकली द एग्जाम इज सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रिपेयरिंग यू फॉर योर करियर. तो प्रेमिस क्या है? इट इज ऑल द स्टेटेड एविडेंस, फैक्ट दैट यू प्रेजेंट टू सपोर्ट योर कंक्लूजन. ठीक है, आप एक हाइपोथेसिस प्रिपेयर करके आ रहे हैं कि माय रिप्रेजेंटेटिव इज गिल्टी और माय रिप्रेजेंटेटिव सॉरी द ओपोनेंट इज गिल्टी एंड माइन इज इनोसेंट. आपका ये कंक्लूजन है. अब हवा में तो बात नहीं कर सकते, आपको एविडेंस देना होगा टू प्रूव द सेम. इसी एविडेंस को, इसी ऑब्जेक्टिव फैक्ट को प्रेमिस कहते हैं. क्या मतलब, आप इन पे डिबेट नहीं कर सकते. ये ऑब्जेक्टिव है, ये ट्रूथ है. ठीक है, सेम चीज आपको ये क्वेश्चंस में ऑलरेडी दी जाएगी. प्रेमिस इज समथिंग दैट द एग्जामिनर इज गोइंग टू गिव टू यू इन द पैसेज और इन द क्वेश्चंस. Your job will be to find the conclusion or the assumptions. तो conclusion क्या हुआ? बस यही, ये सारे evidence मैं क्यों दे रही हूँ, मैं क्या prove करना चाह रही हूँ. That is conclusion. What is the main point of my argument? ठीक है, all this evidence is what is it trying to prove? Okay, that is your simply conclusion. ठीक है, straightforward concepts. Premise, conclusion. So premise आपको ये सवाल में ऑलरेडी दिया जाएगा. Your job as a student is to study premise carefully. ठीक है, इसको ध्यान से पढ़ना है. इसमें अपने ओपिनियन नहीं डालने हैं. ठीक है, जो ओपिनियन, जो डेटा देना है वो दे दिया गया है. अपना डेटा, अपना ओपिनियन बिल्कुल मत डालना. ठीक है, लाइक इट इज अ गिवन एविडेंस, इट इज एन एक्सप्लिसिट स्टेटमेंट. एक्सप्लिसिट यानी आंखों के सामने जो दिख रहा है हमको, that is explicit. जो भी आप आंखों के सामने देख पा रहे हैं, simply explicit. Something that is not hidden. For example, look at this. John is a scientist, therefore he must be intelligent. What is the premise in this given argument? Simply, not the other sentence, not the second half. The first half, this one is the premise. Why is this a premise? Because it's an objective fact. It is an evidence. It is an evidence I'm giving to prove this. Okay? It answers why to the conclusion. Why is he intelligent? Because he's a scientist. So this is a premise. It's an undebatable piece of evidence. It's a fact, objective fact. Okay. If you want, you can take screenshots of the slides because the presentation will not be shared with you. So either sit with me and make notes. That is always preferable, or you can take screenshots. Yes, Pratna. Conclusion is something that you're trying to prove. But how are you trying to prove? That is through premise. That is through pieces of evidences, through facts. तो दोनों अलग हैं. Now, for the sake of the example, I have just added one premise. You're absolutely right. Maybe you need more premise to, understand or conclude that. So you're seeing it as a point of view from a point of view of a judge. Like, I need more evidence. Evidence insufficient. I understand. That's a good argument, but we might be getting too analytical at this stage. Okay, I want you to hold this faculty for the questions. Hold these, thinking for the questions. Right now, it's just for the question. I've added one premise. I know I should have added more. Yeah. For the question, only one premise, which is John is a scientist, to prove the conclusion. क्या है अपना conclusion? This is the premise. This is the conclusion. Therefore, he must be intelligent. ये एक objective fact नहीं है. ये एक piece of evidence नहीं है. This is a debatable thing, but this is a conclusion. Why? Because this is what the premise is trying to prove. So what is a conclusion? It answers what is the main point. ये इतना सारा बकवास क्यों हो रहा है? Right? What are you trying to prove? Okay, it is a final statement that the premise proves. So all the evidences are designed to prove this. As a lawyer, whatever lawyer, defense lawyer, any type of lawyer, you collect evidence, a lot of evidence to prove one thing. That is your conclusion. Okay. Now, the location of the conclusion does not necessarily have to be at the end. इतना convenient और इतना easy नहीं होगा क्लैट में कि एकदम end पे जैसे इधर मैंने लिखा है इतना प्यार से वो एग्जामिनर लास्ट में ही लिख देगा therefore thus करके नहीं. ठीक है, कभी कभी होगा भी नहीं. अगर है तो it could be at the end, it could be in the beginning, it could be at the center, or sometimes the conclusion will not be given and could be asked as a question. What will be your job? Your job will be to study the premise and try to understand, okay, what is the author trying to conclude, right? If you've started English RCs, then there is a question called a main idea question in your RCs, in the English section. Conclusion is the similar kind of question in CR. It's the main idea question. Itna sara bakwas likha kyun gaya hai? What is the point of writing all of this? That is the conclusion question. Okay, it is fairly easy to find. Sometimes you can find it in the RC. Sometimes you'll have to study the premise carefully to understand what is happening. I mean, sometimes they could be very generous and give these words. So thus, therefore, hence concludes that के बाद जो भी लिखा है, obviously by English language, that is the conclusion. So that is one indicator that you can look out for, but not necessarily. It will not always be given. Okay, so if you find it, you can always underline it. But if not, then you might have to find it yourself. Okay, then somebody used the word assumption before this. Okay, what is an assumption? Just general English term में अगर मेरे को पूछना हो, not, I don't want the definition. What is an assumption?
The bridge between conclusion and premise.
Yep, that is a definition, but what is in the English language does it mean? Exactly, मतलब कुछ चीज है पर मैंने लिखी नहीं है वो, मतलब मैं समझ गई अपने दिमाग में. That is an assumption. कि मतलब इतना चिंदी सा बात है, इतना ऑब्वियस सा बात है कि मैंने बोला भी नहीं, मैं अपने दिमाग में ही समझ गई. That's an assumption. ठीक है, one of you is late to my class and your reason is, I'm sorry ma'am, I'm late to the class because there was a lot of traffic. Hence I am late. इसमें क्या एक इतना ऑब्वियस सा डिटेल है कि सामने वाले ने बोलने की मेहनत भी नहीं की और मैं समझ गई. क्या डिटेल है वो? Very good, Priyanshi. He was traveling by road. It's the assumption that the guy has conveniently left out of the reason, but I have understood. Because where is traffic? ट्रैफिक कहाँ होता है? रोड पे. इसका मतलब वो हवा से नहीं आया है, वो पानी से नहीं आया है, वो रोड से आया है. That is an assumption, something that is so obvious that it is left out of the premise. But it is a premise. So if I have to explain it simply when in terms of CR, assumption is nothing but a hidden premise. ये opinion नहीं हो सकता. जैसे आप लोग कह रहे हैं कि वो घर से लेट निकला होगा या वो झूठ बोल रहा होगा, ये सब अगर हम बोलें तो ये assumption नहीं हो सकते. ठीक है, ये हमारे अभी भी opinion ही है. Assumption, something that has to be true, okay, and it is derived through the conclusion only. It is a premise, but it is a hidden premise. तो इसे fact ही समझो, but it's hidden. मतलब इतना obvious है, इतना चिंदी है कि author ने लिखने की मेहनत ही नहीं की. ये opinion नहीं है, ना ये हमारा opinion हो सकता है, ना ये examiner का. हमें technically ऐसे सोचना है कि जब author ये लिख रहा था, तो उसके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था, right? That's an assumption, and that is why it's a difficult question. Because it's not given to you. So by nature, assumptions are always implicit. Implicit मतलब hidden. ये आपको कभी भी लिखे हुए नहीं देंगे, पर अगर आपको सवालों में पूछे जाएंगे. Okay, they are unstated, but what are they? They are still reasons, facts and evidences only. ये भी एक evidence ही है कि ये रोड से आया है. ठीक है, ये भी एक कारण ही है, ये भी एक फैक्ट ही है कि ये रोड से आया है. इसको भी आप डिबेट नहीं कर सकते, पर ये एक छुपा हुआ फैक्ट है जो ऑथर ने बोलने की मेहनत नहीं की. मैंने निकाला अपने दिमाग से. कैसे निकाला? अच्छे से प्रेमिस को पढ़ा, अच्छे से कंक्लूजन को पढ़ा और उनकी ब्रिज को समझा कि वो लेट है क्योंकि वो ट्रैफिक में फंसा हुआ था, मतलब वो गाड़ी से आया है, रोड से आया है. Okay, so that is how you will have to approach a question like this, and that is why it's a very tricky question. There is a strategy to check if your answer is correct or not. If the assumption is not true, then the conclusion will also not be true. So if your answer choice is correct, okay, so and that will directly impact your conclusion. If you want to check your answers, you can add a not in it. एक not डाल के देखना. अगर आपकी कंक्लूजन पे भी उतना इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है, अगर वो खराब हो जा रहा है, that means your assumption is correct. Okay, like look at this sentence. We had found out this was the premise, this was the conclusion. There is one piece of statement missing here. An assumption that the author has assumed कि सामने वाले को तो समझ ही आ जाएगा. क्या है वो statement? The scientists are intelligent. That he is a scientist, Vishaka is already given to you. That's the premise. ना John is a scientist, तो premise हुआ. बोल चुका है author. मुझे ऐसा statement बताना है जो उसने नहीं बोला है. Absolutely, and that is an assumption, and that is what you have to find. You absolutely said that it could be a flawed assumption. बिल्कुल हो सकता है, वो एक अलग सवाल आता है. There's a whole different type of question called flaw in the arguments. We'll definitely study that as well. But for now, let's try to recognize and find out what these assumptions are. Here, John is a scientist or John is intelligent. Direct leap मारा author ने. क्या सोच के मारा कि scientist है तो intelligent तो होगा ही. If he's a scientist, he must have studied science. Yeah, that is also an assumption. तो वही हुआ फिर, वही बोला आपने. You're thinking the same way the author is thinking. The scientists are intelligent, इसलिए John भी intelligent है. Okay, so it is technically an unstated. देखो ना, नहीं लिखा है कि scientists are intelligent, पर हमने मिलके निकाला. एग्जाम में भी यही करना होगा. आपको ये दिया गया है, मे बी आपको ये अंडरलाइन करना है, ये फटाफट फाइंड आउट करना है, एंड देन ऑप्शंस में आपको ये 4 assumption दिए हैं, you have to check which is the most appropriate bridge. How to check? One of you even asked how to check. This is the strategy. This is how you check. This is the negation method. Try to attack your chosen assumption. So try to say कि scientists are not intelligent. ठीक है, negate करो, not डालो. Scientists are not intelligent. So John is a scientist, scientists are not intelligent, therefore he must be intelligent, also does not stand true. है ना? But the conclusion falls apart. If scientists are not intelligent, then he can also not be intelligent. That means here my assumption is directly impacting my conclusion. That means it is correct. It is absolutely correct. See why? This is how conclusion is made. Premise plus assumption. अगर ये negate हो रहा है तो फिर ये भी negate हो जाएगा. That is if your choice is correct. Take a screenshot. We will solve a couple of questions so you'll have a better idea. But remember this about assumption. It is not given to you. It is going to be hidden in plain sight. You have to find it and it is assumed to be true. Okay. Now, yes, we can sit here, we can have an hour-long debate about if scientists are intelligent, actually intelligent or not intelligent. But in the exam, they are all assumed to be true. So here, the author assumes that scientists are indeed intelligent. Okay. Another thing, क्योंकि ये लिखा नहीं गया है, तो obviously ये एकदम कुछ नया होगा. It is going to be out of the passage. It is going to be relevant. It's going to be out of the passage. Like this, scientists are intelligent is something not given to us right now, right here. Absolutely, it is indeed an unstated. All of this is your premise, correct? So indeed, absolutely, it is an unstated premise. It is a hidden premise. आप लोग को क्या possible problem है? And this is a very common problem. Don't have to sweat about it. The fact that sometimes we get a little over analytical. We overthink. ठीक है, हम थोड़ा ज्यादा डीप चले जाते हैं. वो नहीं करना है. ठीक है, हमें एकदम ऑब्जेक्टिव रहना है. This art of objectivity is something that every lawyer needs to master. क्योंकि कभी कभी you are actually going to represent criminals, but you have to prove them innocent, because that is the job of a lawyer. It is far from ethics and morals. What is morality? You're not going to sit there and you think about it. Objective है, आपका lawyer है, आपका काम है. अगर उसने 20 मर्डर भी किए हैं, it is your job to prove his side or prove him innocent or minimize his punishment. So this sort of objectivity is something you'll have to learn. You'll have to learn how not to overthink. All of this comes with plenty practice. In CR, there is no strategy, there is no trick. You practice it like you practice math. You practice logic like you practice math questions. Exactly. You make sure the thing is your answer key. Okay, in the sense, whenever you're solving, हो गया solve, सिर्फ इतना नहीं देखो कि अच्छा B सही है, मेरा भी सही है, टिक करके आगे बढ़ो. नहीं. Read their reasons as well. Did I think of the same reason when I was solving? Okay, so तुक्का नहीं था, it was not a fluke. Try to understand the logic that the answer keys provide, because it's completely objective and proper logic. Not too deep. Okay, just enough amount of thinking and logic you need to exercise during the exam. So the trick is to always have the answer key and study the answer key carefully. Now, the last one, the last guy is inference. You get inference. Yes, Raima. Put it in the chat till the time. Let's move to inferences. ठीक है, अभी inference क्या है? ठीक है, बाहर ना it's very gray and it's very cloudy. हम क्या बोल सकते हैं ये सब पढ़ के? It's super gray and it's very cloudy. What can we conclude? Very good. It's a rainy environment. It might rain. That is inference. मैंने कभी नहीं आपको बोला कि बारिश का माहौल है बाहर. आपने बोला वो. कैसे बोला? आपने premise सुना, premise पढ़ा, joined the dots and concluded that it might rain. That is an inference. Exactly like conclusion, but hidden. But hidden. तो क्या फर्क है conclusion और inference में? दोनों सगे भाई हैं. They are both real brothers. They are both conclusions. Inference is nothing but a derived conclusion. But ये हमेशा छुपा रहेगा. इसका मतलब ही है hidden. Inference का मतलब ही है it's a hidden conclusion. So it is a statement that is not given, but is derived from the given. What given? Given evidences, facts, premise. तो क्या है फर्क कि कंक्लूजन कभी कभी दे दिया जाएगा आपको उसमें पैसेज में, बट इन्फ्रेंस कभी नहीं दिया जाएगा. दैट इज द डिफरेंस. इट इज लॉजिकली डिड्यूस. ये लॉजिकली निकाला जाता है, हवा से नहीं निकाल सकते. यू हैव टू स्टडी द प्रेमिस एंड देन लॉजिकली कंक्लूड. नेवर एवर एवर assume extra information or evidence. एक चीज है, सीआर का गोल्डन रूल है, रिमेंबर दिस, राइट इट समवेयर. जितना दिया है उतने से ही खेलो. अपने घर से टॉयज लेके मत जाना, अपने घर से नॉलेज लेके मत जाना. वहां जितना दिया है उतने से ही हम खेलेंगे. अपना ओपिनियन, अपना टीके नहीं डालेंगे. Even if the passage is on a topic you know completely everything about. Maybe it's on something that you are actually obsessed with. You can still not bring in extra information. You still know उतना ही जितना author को पता है. अपना ज्ञान नहीं ला सकते. ये एक सब्जेक्टिव एग्जाम नहीं है, ये एक ऑब्जेक्टिव एग्जाम है. तो कभी भी एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन एविडेंस अज्यूम मत करना. ठीक है, लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल. एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं. ठीक है, लुक एट दिस एग्जांपल. I saw John's body on the ground and I knew that the Holocaust was complete. What inferences can you draw from this argument? What conclusions can you draw from this argument? Something that is not given here. Yep. What if he was not injured? Maybe he was just unconscious. All we know is he was lying, his body was on the ground. Now, this could mean multiple things. He was injured, he was unconscious, he was dead. What else? How can we make that connection of he was dead or injured of all of these? Yep, it was the mass genocide conducted by Hitler. That was the Holocaust. I mean, that is what the incident is called, the Holocaust. So the genocide, right? It's a violent event. It's super violent. So there's a good chance one was injured, unconscious. One of you said he was hiding. Indeed, could be कि वो छुपा हुआ है. So multiple inferences can be drawn from the given argument. आपको yeah, the most probable conclusion is that he's dead. Correct. But a far-fetched one could be that he's also hiding. He's just lying on the ground hiding. But yes, that could not conclude that the Holocaust was complete. But even a dead body lying on the ground could not conclude that the Holocaust was complete. So here right now we're just making inferences about John's state. Okay, so yeah, multiple inferences possible, but not all of them are given in the options. So whatever you feel is the most probable one, you pick for that. Now what do I mean by कि अपना ज्ञान मत लाना इधर, यानी अपने opinions नहीं लाना. Like you can't say John likes to lay on the ground. John is like that only. Okay, or John is mocking the people, or John is just having fun, right? Personal subjective opinions cannot be brought here. You just look at the evidence and you try to potentially connect the dot. She's absolutely, one of you said that most probably it should be कि John is dead. ठीक है, अगर John is dead option में नहीं है तो maybe you can consider the option that John was hiding also. ये भी हो सकता है because it's not an opinion. His body is on the ground, so maybe he's ducking. He's saving himself from the bullets or something. So multiple inferences possible. In CR altogether, the only way to get your answers correct is through comparison of options. Okay, हमेशा options पे depend करता है correct answer. Absolutely, you can say he was shot as well. So that could mean all of these things as well. Correct. So see, multiple inferences possible. अभी सही है. All of these are absolutely correct. So what is it? It is nothing but a conclusion made from the given evidence, exclusive of one's opinions and extra information. Okay, yeah, that's it. You have to just study the premise carefully and make these conclusions. Now, one of you have asked कि भाई difference क्या हुआ फिर? Difference क्या हुआ conclusion और inference में? कुछ difference नहीं हुआ. बाकी एग्जाम्स में तो दोनों को एक ही चीज कंसिडर की जाती है. If you take up other exams, CAT and other exams, they consider the same thing, inference and conclusion. तो कुछ नहीं है, they're both the same thing. ठीक है, inference भी एक conclusion ही है, but this is going to be always hidden. ये तो मतलब बाय नेचर ही है, जैसे assumption है ना, always hidden. Inference हमेशा hidden रहता है. Conclusion maybe not. Right? Maybe the author has mentioned the conclusion at the end of the paragraph. Maybe not. I have to derive it. Another thing is inferences are usually made on minor detail. यानी एक दो लाइन पढ़ के अगर आप कुछ कंक्लूड कर रहे हैं तो उसे इन्फ्रेंस कहते हैं, पर अगर आप ओवरऑल कंक्लूड कर रहे हैं तो उसको एग्जाम में कंक्लूजन बोला जाता है. Now that is the same difference between conclusion and assumption then, na? Ki you have to study assumption to get to conclusion. You have to study assumption to get to inferences. ठीक है, जैसे इधर assumption था कि John was potentially a victim of the same, like John was impacted by the Holocaust, right? क्योंकि I saw John's body on the ground and I knew the Holocaust was complete. That means मैंने assume क्या किया कि ये दोनों कनेक्टेड है. जॉन वॉज अ विक्टिम और हमने वही डिफाइन किया है इन अलग किस तरह से वो पोटेंशियली विक्टिम हो सकता था. तो assumptions लीड यू टू द इन्फरेंस. अगर ये सच नहीं हुए तो ये भी कुछ सच नहीं होगा. अगर जॉन विक्टिम ही नहीं था, अगर जॉन का उस इंसिडेंट से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं था, देन ना ही वो इंजर हो सकता है, ना ही वो डेड हो सकता है, ना ही वो अनकॉन्शियस हो सकता है, वो कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. सो assumptions टेक यू, वो आपका हाथ पकड़ते हैं और वो लेके जाते हैं आपको कंक्लूजन की तरफ. दैट इज द डिफरेंस. ओके, दिस इज द अदर इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंस. कंक्लूजन इज द ओवरऑल कंक्लूजन. सो पूरे, जैसे हम ये सिर्फ क्लैट के उसमें चल के आता है, क्योंकि एलिट में तो वही आपको 3-4 लाइन के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. So conclusion is the overall conclusion of those 500 words. Inference is like the conclusion of 1 to 2 lines as well. Okay, so that is another difference between the two. When we solve questions, when we do questions, I highlight you. See, this is a conclusion, this is an inference question. So you'll understand the difference better. Okay. Everyone's taken screenshots? Okay. So that is all the topics. Now, the basic approach to each of these questions is we read the passage thoroughly. Okay? Never in the English or the CR section decide the level of difficulty based on the questions. कि यार इसमें तो 2 inference सवाल आए हैं और एक conclusion का सवाल आया है, ये तो difficult passage होगा. Never conclude the level of difficulty through the questions. The level of difficulty is directly linked with your understanding of the passage. तो अगर आपको ये डिसाइड करना है कि क्या ये मैं पैसेज करूं या नहीं करूं, आप सवालों को नहीं देखेंगे, आप पैसेज को देखेंगे. ठीक है, पैसेज में क्या देखेंगे आप? पैसेज का ऑब्वियसली लैंग्वेज देखेंगे कि मुझे लैंग्वेज समझ आ रहा है, और सेकंड टॉपिक देखेंगे. लेंथ वगैरह भी मत देखना कि ये छोटा है ये बड़ा है, has nothing to do with the level of difficulty. These are the only 2 things and they're completely subjective. Okay, some of you are very good with the English language. You've been reading since school, so you're very comfortable. Most of you are not, so you can reach out for some easier language passages. Topic are you get a lot of diverse topic. Economics, politics, psychology, literature, social studies. You will see what you're most familiar with, what you're most comfortable with, and what the most alien topics. यानी ये मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं, मैंने सुना ही नहीं है इसके बारे में, या पॉलिटिक्स तो मुझे देख के ही चिढ़ मचती है, पसंद ही नहीं है कभी, तो आप फिर उनको लास्ट में रखेंगे या फिर छोड़ देंगे. So that is how you decide if a passage is made for me or not made for me. Do not look at the questions. The questions have nothing to do with it. अगर आपको पैसेज समझ आ गया फिर क्वेश्चंस भी आ जाएंगे. It is all about understanding and comprehending the passage. Okay, so the approach is you obviously choose the passage and then you read it carefully. You are allowed to use pencils. Okay. So track it, underline things wherever you feel this is a conclusion, underline it. अगर एक बार आप obviously questions को scan करेंगे, if there's some related paragraph, you will underline that. You will identify same premise and conclusion. Okay, this is a pro level approach. We'll approach it later when we're doing sample papers. Then you will read the question, check the options, and then this is the most important. The most important thing one could ever do, and that is elimination of options. Even if you feel कि भाई इसका आंसर A ही है, पहले ही वाला ऑप्शन ही है पक्का, आप फिर भी B, C, D पढ़ेंगे, चारों ऑप्शंस पढ़ेंगे, eliminate करेंगे proper logic से, and then you will choose and then you will mark it in your OMR. हवे में नहीं कर सकते. Okay, this is what brings you closer to accuracy, because right in the beginning the chances of any of them being correct is 25%. Right? Then I know for sure कि option C तो बाहर से ही आया है, passage में ही नहीं है. तो कितना हो गया? Almost 33. Correct? You eliminate one more, 50-50. You eliminate one more, 100%. That ensures what? 100% accuracy. And why do we need 100% accuracy in that exam? Mark answers तुक्के क्यों नहीं लगा सकते? Negative marking के कारण हम तुक्के नहीं लगा सकते. We have to make sure कि मैं जो OMR में mark कर रही हूँ, it is correct. Otherwise, I'm not going to just waste my marks and time and marks of this question. I'm also borrowing marks from other questions. I'll just end up in negative. 100% accuracy पे पहुंचने के लिए option elimination is the key. Okay, yes, a lot of doubts now. Okay, wait, there's one option elimination slide pending. Let me take that. Then let us take up doubts. ठीक है, मैंने बोला कि eliminate करो options. क्या eliminate करो? ये बहुत limited होते हैं. तो and I'll teach you what is to be eliminated in what question. ठीक है, like you repetition of a single premise. अगर कुछ repeat हो रहा है, ठीक है, ये तो eliminate होगा ही, क्योंकि inference or assumption, they're always, what are they? Are they always given in the passage? तो अगर आपको एक ऑप्शन डिजाइन करके दिया है जो एक लाइन है पैसेज की, you will obviously eliminate it. है ना, 2 मिनट में एलिमिनेट हो जाएगी, क्योंकि मुझे पता है बाय नेचर इन्फ्रेंस और अजम्पशन इम्प्लिसिट स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं. हटा देना उसे. चलो, एलिमिनेट हो गया ये ऑप्शन. देन ऑप्शंस दैट स्पीक आउट ऑफ स्कोप आइडियाज, एक्सटर्नल एलिमेंट्स. उधर जॉन की बात हो रही थी, हॉलोकॉस्ट की बात हो रही थी, अब जॉन की सिस्टर का ऑप्शन आ गया, तो वो हम कैसे करें केटर? जॉन की फैमिली के बारे में कमेंट कर रहा है, तो वो हाउ कैन वी डू इट? That is something that's out of scope. तो बाहर जा रहा है. और मैंने कहा कि हमें उतना पता है जितना ऑथर को पता है, तो ऑथर को खुद नहीं पता है उसकी बहन के साथ क्या हुआ, तो फिर हमें कैसे पता होगा? तो eliminate options that are out of scope, that are not given to you in the passage. Simple. Okay, do not try to overthink and justify it. Something that is not stated in the passage is not true. Then avoid generalized and judgmental options. Okay, opinionated options. ठीक है, John is very lazy, that's why he might be lying on the floor. John is very naughty, so he's pulling a prank. These are judgmental options, opinionated options. ना ही ऑथर का ओपिनियन है, ना ही आपका ओपिनियन है, ये एग्जामिनर अपना ओपिनियन डाल रहा है. हटाओ. Generalized, John is always like this. Okay, never believe John. No one believes John. Whenever it goes in extreme direction, always, never, everywhere, everyone. तो ये भी eliminate करो, क्योंकि generalize और extreme direction में author कभी नहीं जाता है. So you're supposed to eliminate these options because they are logically flawed. Okay. These are few. There are a couple more. I'll give them to you eventually, but these are the most important option eliminations. What are the things that you need to eliminate when it comes to option? You eliminate something that is already given in the passage. especially when it comes to inference and assumption questions, because inference and assumptions are hidden. तो अगर कुछ पैसेज में ऑलरेडी दिया है, वो मेरा इन्फ्रेंस नहीं हो सकता, वो मेरा अजम्पशन नहीं हो सकता. अगर आपको मैंने मुंह से ही बोल दिया कि बाहर बारिश होने वाली है, तो उसमें आप क्या कंक्लूड करेंगे? कुछ कंक्लूड करने को बचा ही नहीं. सो दैट इज नॉट एन इन्फ्रेंस. An inference is something you derive yourself. Then eliminate options that are out of scope, that are going out of the passage. Okay, no overthinking. Something that is not given is simply not true. It's simply something I don't know, because you know उतना ही जितना author को पता है. बस कुछ भी एलिमेंट अगर आपको दिख रहा है फॉरेन है, नया है, वो आप एलिमिनेट कर दें. आपको अगर ऊपर पैसेज में नहीं दिखा तो. देन अवॉइड जनरलाइज्ड ऑप्शंस. ओके, ऑलवेज, एवरीवेयर, नोवेयर, मतलब हमेशा एक्सट्रीम दिशा में जाने वाले ऐसे ही वर्ड्स आपको दिखेंगे. You can eliminate those. Okay, that generalizes the conclusion. John is always like this. Never believe in John. Okay, that also becomes a judgmental option. Opinion. Until and unless author ka opinion hai, only then I care about it. Otherwise, I don't care. It's not our business. Okay, until and unless it's author's judgment, which you will find in a lot of argumentative passage. Author might have a tone, author might take a stance. तब आप जा सकते हैं. और अगर नहीं दिया है ओपिनियन, जैसे इधर जॉन के बारे में कुछ ओपिनियन नहीं दिया ऑथर ने, तो हम भी फिर ओपिनियनेटेड ऑप्शंस पे नहीं जा सकते. आई हैव टू एलिमिनेट. ओके, और possibly any aptitude exam with negative marking is know thyself. That means know yourself. अपनी लिमिट्स को जानो. ठीक है, अपने स्ट्रेंथ्स और अपने वीकनेसेस को रिकग्नाइज करो, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट अबाउट हु इज द स्मार्टेस्ट, इट इज अबाउट हु इज द मोस्ट सेल्फ अवेयर. इफ यू आर अवेयर, क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग इज नॉट योर स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सेक्शन, fair. Everyone has a weak section. Don't waste a lot of time there. Okay, just solve the questions that you're certain that you will get right. Solve them, get your marks there. Don't give it too much time. Give time to other sections where you probably will score higher. If you feel like, no, I'm not entirely bad in CR. Maybe if I practice more, I can crack it. That is the problem, core issue. Practice more. As many mocks you practice, the more comfortable you get with the exam, the more self-aware you get. Introspect, okay? Introspect and tell me, where is the core issue? Is it in general, CR is not your strongest section? Or you feel like maybe I have not practiced enough, I've only started CR. On the theory, and drop any queries, any doubts you have regarding this. In exactly 5 to 6 minutes, we'll start questions for these topics. Okay, so I want you to go through all the screenshots that you just took. Study it carefully. If you have any doubts, any follow-up questions, you ask me right away. By 8, in CR passages, I found arguments often seem logically convincing at the first glance. How can we quickly differentiate between the actual conclusion, underlying assumptions, and supporting statements during a timed examination is a challenge. Is exactly what you're supposed to do. And this is something that comes with practice. The fact that you can at least now make a difference कि ये सब चीजें अलग हैं, that means my lecture is successful now. अभी हम सवाल करेंगे तो आपको फटाफट मिल जाएंगे कि how to differentiate. Conclusion अलग ही होता है. Conclusion is something that it's a joint puzzle. सारे variables को जोड़ के जो formula बनता है, that's the conclusion. It's very easy to recognize. All of this mastery comes with practice. CR, don't treat it like English. Treat CR like mathematics. The more I practice, the better I get. I'll have to look at the question. If it is asking for, if it requires external information to solve, then probably it is not a CR question. But if it doesn't, then yeah, I mean, all the data is already given in the thing, then it is the CR question only. मतलब अगर आपको बाहर से कुछ information लग रही है सॉल्व करने के लिए, तो फिर वो सीआर का क्वेश्चन नहीं हुआ. बट यूजुअली सीआर में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते नहीं है. So yeah, the topic of CR questions could be anything. It could be a criminal case. It could be a literature topic, a political topic, a financial topic. Could be anything. But whatever you need for it is already given in the question. बाहर से कुछ नहीं लेके आना हमको. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like in CLAD CR section doesn't ask which one is the correct option among these. It's probably asking which one is the least wrong. Yeah, very good, Bhavya. That's something that I even tell my students. There is no perfect answer in CLAD. There's always a least worst answer or a better answer. All of the options are very close. Sometimes all of the options are bad. They're all trash. Your job is to find which is the least worst. So there is no perfect answer. Remember हम 4th grade में 5th grade में RCs करते थे, एकदम perfect answer होता था, simple fill in the blank, ऊपर से पढ़ो नीचे चिपकाना था, कुछ नहीं करना था. CLAT में ऐसा नहीं है. CLAT में बहुत लॉजिक लगता है, अच्छा खासा लॉजिक लगता है, एलिमिनेट करते टाइम लॉजिक लगता है, पढ़ते टाइम. So yes, this least worst option is indeed a thing. You can probably design a shadow answer. That is what I was going to say. That's a pro level thing where we try to make shadow answers ki bhai maine passage pad liya hai ab, so okay, this could be the answer. But that is not something you can do it before reading the passage. Obviously, once you read the passage, then your brain only naturally it starts making these answers, wherein it starts joining the dots and it naturally makes the shadow answer. So yeah, and that would actually help you in quicker selection of the option. So yeah, that might happen. Shadow answers is actually a technique students indeed use for accuracy and speed. If wo bhi hum karenge. Shadow answer is something we'll also be practicing. Okay, let's start with the first question. Or kuch anything related to the theory, the concepts. I think when we solve the CRRCs, we can easily solve basic 12th English comprehensions. Section they are both different things. Huh? English and CR बिल्कुल अलग है. पढ़ाएगा एक ही जन. Okay, I'm going to be teaching you both CR and English, but the faculty required for both is completely different. In logic, you don't need to be very good at language. Even the language of the CR passages are not going to be heavy on vocabulary, heavy on words. It's going to be simple, but it's going to be deeply logical. You have to read between the lines. In English, not really. In English, the biggest challenge would be language comprehension. Yani, the structure will sometimes be very complex. The topic will sometimes be very complex. Sometimes like literature topic, poetry topic, abstract RC, philosophy RC. तो उधर चैलेंज है लैंग्वेज को समझना, इधर चैलेंज है लॉजिक को समझना, रीडिंग बिटवीन द लाइन्स. सो दोनों का फैकल्टी, दोनों का जो स्किल्स रिक्वायर्ड है, इट्स कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. India's red-billed oxpecker had long been thought to aid mammals. What do you mean by aid? What is the meaning of the word aid? To help mammals like the impala by picking the ticks off their skin, an example of mutualism. But Indian biologist Ram kept oxpeckers away from a group of oxen and found no change in the number of ticks. तो माना जाता था कि ये जो oxpeckers हैं, जो ये whatever they are birds technically, these birds are actually helping. But once they kept them away, once the two were separated, there was no change in the number of ticks. यानी पहले जितने थे जब साथ में रहते थे oxpeckers and the animal impala, let's say there were 20 ticks left on the body, it was still 20 after that, right? So that means they were actually not really picking on the ticks. On the other hand, oxpeckers picked at existing wounds, delaying the healing time. So they're not actually helping them. They're hurting them. How do I know that? Because even once they were kept away, जितने उनके टाइम पे उनके प्रेजेंस में टिक्स थे, उनके एब्सेंस में भी उतने ही टिक्स थे. उतने ही वो ticks are those little parasites, Now tell me, what is a conclusion that can be drawn? Oxpeckers may be harming the oxen rather than helping them. We know for sure that they're definitely not helping them. So, oxpeckers and impalas have been thought to have a symbiotic relation for now. Why can't A be my answer? ठीक है, मैंने बोला था कि कंक्लूजन भी कभी कभी दिए हो सकते हैं, एक्सप्लिसिट हो सकते हैं नेचर में, इन्फ्रेंसेस हमेशा छुपे हुए हैं, एक इन्फ्रेंस का सवाल नहीं है. तो ठीक है, ए उधर में इट्स फाइन दैट इवन इफ इट इज गिवन, बट कंक्लूजन इज द मेन point of the entire thing. Is A the main point of the entire argument? Do you think A encapsulates the whole argument? So we do have to consider the given experiment also. We can't say like this is an additional premise. No, it's not. This is the part of a premise, right? By this exact thing, A is wrong because it's not encapsulating the entire conclusion. I told you, conclusion is everything that the evidence is trying to prove. All of this is not just trying to prove this. ये एक तरह का partially correct है, मतलब गलत तो नहीं है, मैं भी मानती हूँ कि ये गलत नहीं है, पर ये सिर्फ आधा सही है. It is only partially correct. Correct. Oxpeckers and impalas have been thought to have a symbiotic relation for long now, but it isn't. In fact, it is the opposite. They are harming the oxpeckers rather than helping them. You know, अगर A में ये सब पूरा लिखा होता तो ये एकदम perfect option होता. But I told you there is no perfect answers in CR. There are least worst answer. A is a worst answer because it's half correct. It completely ignores the other half of the argument. You need to encapsulate the entire argument. A does not do that. B, ticks multiply if not scavenged by oxpeckers. What's wrong with that? बिल्कुल. तो ये एक opposite option हुआ. ऐसे भी options आते हैं. Opposite options, partially correct options. ठीक है? Eliminated. एकदम उल्टा बोल रहा है जो passage में बोला है. ठीक है? C, oxpeckers may be harming oxen rather than helping them. That is the whole point of the given premise. That is what the premise is trying to prove. कि माना जाता था it is an example of mutualism, but सच्चाई क्या है? ये है. That is the conclusion. Okay, so ये तो फिर से opposite ही हो गया. Yes, Bhavya. No, so you're confusing something. You're not understanding the experiment. Yes, once they were separated, the number of ticks remained the same. Same as what? Same as when they were together. You understand? That means they're actually not helping. They're not actually picking on the ticks. They're picking on the wounds. And that is why C is a better option. I understand your argument कि it is a conclusion question, तो A भी हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, but ये सिर्फ आधा correct है. बाकी का आधा, the conclusion of the study is not included in A. Understood?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, everyone understood with the question? Give me a thumbs up. Any more doubts? Don't overthink. Don't get over analytical. Study the options. I'll give you the Bennett traps as well. Okay, you join the institution, you don't join the institution, it's fine. Bennett traps is something everyone should know. Okay, let us try one more. This is an inference question. Okay, I'll give you guys 5 minutes for the same. Okay, I think the time is up. B, C, B or C. That is what the class is divided between. Why can't I need one consensus answers? B and C, maybe there's only one right answer. What is it? By the time it's completed in 2005, a statue now scheduled for construction in Gwalior will be the tallest edifice in the country and the tallest figure of the Gautam on the planet. Artists and engineers in India and Britain are planning the Oro project, a meditation park funded by Buddhist donors from all over the world. The centerpiece of the 40-acre park will be the 500-foot bronze-clad figure, this figure they're talking about, so large that the Statue of Liberty would just reach its arm. Which of the following can be concluded, inferred from the passage? ठीक है, तो अब जो भी इसमें से conclude कर रहे हैं वो एक inference ही हुआ. It's the same thing. Okay, none of you have gone for A. Why not A? Any hint that this is
ma'am.
written in 2000? No.
No, ma'am.
This could be written in
Okay.
2002, 2003 as well. तो ये नहीं हो सकता. Why? Simply data insufficient. I don't know when this was written. I don't know how long it will take. Simply I told you ना, जो नहीं दिया है वो नहीं हो सकता. Not given. The stat, okay. Look at B or C is what you've gone for. D you didn't go for. Why not D? I don't need your GK, Baba. You didn't need to put GK. कि ग्वालियर एक holy place है या नहीं? मेरे को मालूम है कि नहीं है. You know, this is not even a GK question. This is a CR question. CR में आपको उतना ही पता है जितना ऑथर को पता है. ऑथर ने कहीं भी नहीं बोला कि ये एक होली प्लेस है. Just because there's a figure being constructed, a statue being constructed, does not necessarily make it holy. So, simply not given. Okay, वहीं फंस गए B और C में. What is a better answer between B or C? A statue taller than 500-foot Gotham will not be built anywhere in the world in the next 5 years' time. Will not be built anywhere is also something that we can't conclude, right? A statue taller than 500 foot could be built the next day as well. We don't know about that. All we know is that we are building one pretty tall figure. Okay. Next 5 years तक ऐसा कोई भी नहीं बनाने वाला is something that cannot be concluded. Not given to us. So why jump to conclusions? Okay, it's not given. This next year 5 times. Even if I remove this also, still this option is wrong. A statue taller than 500-foot Gotham will not be built anywhere. क्यों भाई? ऐसा क्या है? क्या इनने कोई लीज लेके रखा है क्या? कोई अब स्टैचू बनाएगा ही नहीं. Makes no sense logically. Just because they are making it does not mean that nobody else is going to make it after this. So completely logically flawed. Look at B. The Statue of Liberty is one of the taller structures in the world. A lot of you have gone for B. Why B? The whole point, the whole main idea, the whole main feature of this statue is it's going to be the tallest edifice. Tallest यानी सबसे लंबा होगा in the world. Tallest. And the fact that when it's being compared to Statue of Liberty in its length, in its largeness, means that Statue of Liberty is worth comparison. That means Statue of Liberty is also tall, but this guy is going to be taller. So, least worst, most obvious inference is B. All the others cannot be made. They're logically flawed, or the data for each of them is either incomplete, not given to us. बस मैंने कहा था ना, जितना दिया है उतने से ही खेलो. मुझे आपका जीके नहीं चाहिए था इधर. सिंपली कहीं मेंशन नहीं है तो नहीं होगा. Okay, 23,923, time is over. This is an assumption based question, so थोड़ा इसका approach बदलेगा. यानी इधर conclusion दिया हुआ है. My step 1 is to identify that conclusion, and then I have to bridge the gap between the premise and the conclusion. You guys are going for, majority is going for C, but we also have A in the discussion. 2 of you are going for A. ठीक है. According to some analysts, driverless vehicles will deliver us to a utopian society. Autonomous vehicles, which is driverless vehicles, with the promise of freedom of getting to places so-and-so, the freedom of so-and-so, watch a movie, do nothing at all. Fewer privately owned vehicles will result in fewer cars on the road overall. With fewer cars will come fewer traffic jams, fewer accidents, and more money in the country. Okay, so it's all talking about autonomous vehicles, then fewer vehicles, and then what are the benefits of the same. इतना सब बोल दिया ऑथर ने. ऐसा क्या assume कर लिया ऑथर ने ये conclusion बनाते टाइम? What has the author assumed here? Okay, you guys are going for A or C. No one's gone for B. Why not B? Assumption तो वैसे भी mention नहीं होते, implicit होते हैं. आप कह सकते हैं relevant या irrelevant. They are anyways going to be not given. Mention नहीं होगा. But are they relevant or not relevant? Let's check. Today's generation has already adopted car sharing businesses like Zipcar and Uber. How is this an assumption? And how is this directly relevant to the conclusion? The thing is, we don't have enough evidence to prove B as well, right? It is an assumption. It has to be relevant. It has to be technically related to the premise and the conclusion. But B is something that I still cannot prove. Okay, it does not A serve as a bridge to the conclusion, but also it's something that we can't prove that they have already adopted Zipcar and Uber. How do I prove that? Data is clearly insufficient. It is a premise, but it is supposed to be a hidden premise that can be at least concluded, derived from the premise. This cannot be derived at all. Then no one's gone for D. For youngsters, driving and the open road promise a kind of freedom. What's wrong with D?
This is unrelated.
Correct. And D also kind of goes against what the passage is trying to prove. It says driving an open road promise a kind of freedom. That means लोग अपनी गाड़ी चाहेंगे. वो अपनी गाड़ी छोड़ना क्यों चाहेंगे? They would want, everyone would want their own cars if it gives them freedom. So D is sort of weakening the statement. It is definitely not serving as a bridge between the premise and the conclusion. So yes, and also one of you said it is only for youngsters. In B also, it was only about today's generation. So it is narrowing the option. Here it is not talking about a specific crowd. It's talking about people in general. B and D are narrowing the option. They're narrowing the scope. Eliminate. Very good. Coming back, we're still stuck at A and C. What should we go for? With no cars, people will have more disposable income and less debt. How is this an assumption? Excellent. Garima has also said the same. It is a conclusion. It is an inference. It is not an assumption. ये आप conclude कर सकते हैं ये पढ़ के कि ठीक है लोग खर्चा कम करेंगे तो फिर गाड़ी पे खर्चा कम करेंगे तो थोड़ा और disposable income होगा. It's a conclusion. Assumption is something that has already been committed before making that conclusion. ये तो बाद में आया है. So A is not an assumption. It is a conclusion. Indeed, look at this. Fewer privately owned vehicles will result in fewer cars on the road. Fewer privately owned vehicles मतलब लोग अपनी vehicles नहीं खरीदेंगे. They will choose in sharing, in carpooling, possibly, right? फिर बोला है, यही assume करते हुए बोला है कि इसके कारण ट्रैफिक भी कम होगा, इसके कारण एक्सीडेंट्स भी कम होंगे, इसके कारण इकोनॉमी भी अच्छी हो जाएगी. मतलब ऑथर ने अज्यूम कर लिया है कि लोग गाड़ी अब खरीदना बंद कर देंगे, कि लोग अब अपनी खुद की गाड़ी नहीं चाहेंगे. इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली सी he has made this conclusion. Because of this, so and so is going to happen, so and so many good things are going to come. He didn't even take into the fact, the consideration that people will be willing to give up the private car ownership and ride in shared driverless vehicles. This is an assumption that he just made in his head. Yes, people will be willing to give up all of this, due to which that will lead to less. See, it's written right here, fewer privately owned vehicles, hence leading to all the other benefits. So C is directly relevant. I told you, try negating it. It is indeed relevant. I understand why you fell for it. A is not completely irrelevant. जैसे C और D तो एकदम irrelevant से लग रहे थे. A पढ़ने में लग तो रहा था कि मतलब relevant तो है, बट ये एक assumption नहीं है, एक conclusion है. तो इसलिए हमने जो इतना 1 घंटा 1.5 घंटा समझने में टाइम निकाला कि दोनों तीनों में फर्क क्या है. Because yes, you will be given options like this. Assumption के question में आपको 1-2 inference option मिल जाएगा. Inference के question में आपको 1-2 assumption के options मिल जाएंगे. You need to know the distinction between each to eliminate options like this. No, it's talking about autonomous vehicles, yes, and then they've equated that the same. Autonomous vehicles as in the driverless vehicles, but they've equated the same with privately, so they've considered this as taxis, let's say. I mean, that's how I can simplify it. They're taxis, because you're not looking at this other half of the argument. It is talking about also fewer privately owned vehicles. It is talking about lack of ownership in vehicles. It's assuming because of these existence of taxis, people will just not buy cars anymore because they won't need it anymore, because they'll be using these autonomous vehicles to get to places. So that is the connection, that is the draw. And yes, then you can conclude that if people are not going to buy cars because they might just use the taxis to get to places, they might end up having more income left on them. Correct. So that is the relevancy. So you just focus here. You should also focus on this other half, which is the fewer privately owned vehicles. Privately owned vehicles is the cars. This and this is used synonymously. I mean, apologies. I don't have more time. I have a lot of good questions. We could have taken more questions, but we don't have time anymore. So I've taken one question each of the concept that we did, but I hope you took screenshot of the theory so you can revise it later, keep it with you. I will promise you I'm going to give you guys Bene traps. Now, Bene traps is something that is it's my thing that I've made, but it's going to make your life very convenient. So I want you to take screenshot of it. It is something that you probably understand eventually, but these are all the bad options that you're supposed to eliminate. And I have made a mnemonic out of them so you can remember it. Okay, and it's called this. तो 4 ऑप्शन आता है एग्जाम में, उसमें से एक ही सही है, बाकी 3 गलत हैं. So examiner has been making this consortium has been making this paper for years now. The way these bad options are designed are very limited. Okay, they're not creative every time. They're very limited ways in which these bad options are designed. Okay, and these are all the ways in which the examiner designs his or her bad options. Okay, the first bad option is a broad option. Okay, so the argument could be talking about Pune, but the option is talking about India. So it's going out of scope. It's broadening the scope. ठीक है, वैसी जैसे अभी उल्टा उसका पढ़ा हमने narrow. The author is talking about people and drivers in general. Option is talking about today's youth specifically. Narrow हो गया scope. इतना था, इतना कर दिया. So broad and narrow are common. Then A, ये भी किया हमने. Alien मतलब not given, बाहर से आया है. Any piece of data, any element, any character that is not given in the passage is not correct because you know उतना ही जितना author को पता है. ठीक है? E से extreme, always, only, never, ऐसे जब extreme शब्द दिखने लगे, समझ जाना ये option गलत है. उधर asterisk लगा देना कि most probably ये गलत ही जाएगा. And गलत ही होता है because never does the author go in an extreme direction. T is true, but irrelevant to question. ठीक है? It is true. They say right now it was true about the first one that yes, they will have a lot of disposable income. But that's not what the question was asking. The question was asking for assumption, not conclusion. So that is another question trap. True, but irrelevant to the question. R से rotten word. This is a very sly option. ये बहुत एकदम subtle होता है. एकदम 99% option is pristine. It's like perfect. One word would toss the option, out of consideration. कुछ एक बाहर का element डाल दिया, एक yet, so, thus, therefore, logical relationship खराब कर दिया. One tiny word can ruin the option. So yes, sometimes you have to read the option so carefully, look at every single word carefully because one tiny word can also ruin the option. Okay, like she was sad. Passage में लिखा था she was sad. Option में लिखा है she was extremely sad or she was very sad. Now this also could make an option weak. Why? Because it's adding a new thing. She was sad or she was very sad are two different statements. So one tiny word can ruin an option. You have to be careful of that. Okay? The other A stands for anti, which is, as we just did, opposite to what is given or opposite to what is asked. P भी किया हमने, partially correct. आधा सही है, आधा या तो पैसेज में नहीं है या बाकी का आधा गलत है. And then last S is scrambled. यानी सब कुछ पैसेज से है, बट लॉजिक का पूरा खिचड़ी कर दिया है. एवरीथिंग, द एलिमेंट्स आर एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम द पैसेज, बट डिफरेंट, किसी और का थियोरी लेके किसी और का एग्जाम्पल में लगा दिया. Logic is violated, the relationship is violated. So that is a scrambled option. Okay, it is logically scrambled. That's it. These are the bad options. Now this is relevant for your English RCs as well, for your CR, for everything. I give the same for English RCs, I give it for CR as well. It doesn't matter if you end up being part of this institution or not. This is still something that is going to be extremely helpful for you, and I really want you to make use of it. क्या करो अपने एग्जाम के टाइम, मॉक पेपर के टाइम, at the last page, you just write this down so you know what to look out for. You know what to eliminate. These are universal bad options. They're going to be applied to all the passages of CR in English. So you can always consider this. Okay, that's it.
Ma'am, in English, how to cover the synonyms, antonyms, like how to cover, like how to read all them?
I think we will have an English session. So I would want you to save your doubts and stuff for the English session. You can just make a list. We can all address them, the vocabulary doubts, the reading speed doubts in the English class. If you have any doubts for today's topic, regarding today's topic or the questions, if there's anybody who still wants to discuss about today's class or CR in general, can stay back, talk to me. Otherwise, we are done. Okay, I'll see you guys in the other session if it is conducted, possibly for English as well. I'll see you guys then.
So I hope बच्चों की तुम्हें ये क्लास अच्छी लगी हो and that you were able to clear your basics of critical reasoning, because this is where your critical reasoning preparation really starts. अगर आपका कोई भी डाउट है बच्चों तो कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल देना. And again a reminder to all of you to not to forget to subscribe to this channel, क्योंकि बच्चों इस चैनल पे मैं फ्री में कवर करवाने वाली हूँ मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स एंड द बेसिक्स ऑफ योर सिलेबस, चाहे वो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट हो, ऑफ योर क्लैट एंड द A-Lit पेपर. So with this बच्चों, stay tuned for more classes. I will see you there. All the best.